Now let me start this video by saying Happy New Year to every single one of you watching here today. I know some of you are already in 2022, of course. In countries like Australia, for example, the New Year has already happened at the time of recording this. But still, for those of you that are watching today, hopefully you have a good evening and hopefully the next year is better than 2021. With that said, today we're here for my team and we are here for the season finale of Season 5. And you're wondering, Tom, why are you running the webcam at the intro when you don't usually do this? Well, there's a simple reason for it. Unfortunately, I messed up big time. I basically pressed the wrong button. I wasn't fully focused. I was distracted on my phone. And basically, I accidentally simulated the final race in Abu Dhabi. Now, luckily, I did record qualifying. So if you want to stick around and watch how I qualified for the final race, then feel free to watch along and keep on watching the video. If you're going to enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe for more. The previous episode, as always, will be linked up in the top right, so go check that one out. And yeah, for the final time in Season 5, let's send it for qualifying, and then I'll let you know what the results were in the race. Now, here we are in the office, ready for the final race in Abu Dhabi. Now, spoilers ahead, the last race was, of course, Jeddah, and we had yet another engine failure, our fourth failure of the season, one on the gearbox, three on the engine this season, and we've also come off the back of two consecutive DNFs in Australia and Jeddah, so pretty much our season has been put in rice. And yeah, if you look at the performance chart, you can see we are currently the second best team because we finally took the plunge and we decided to buy the brake upgrades. Now, I can already tell after practice, the car feels like crap, but it means that we're faster and it means hopefully that Michael Schumacher should be more on pace. Now, confirmation that the last race, it was the turbocharger that let go in Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, three failures, and the worst thing about this most recent one is that the engine was completely fresh and it blew up. So we're going to go back to an older turbocharger for this one as we jump into the final qualifying of the season. Round 16, of course, and that alone is quite painful. The fact that we had 16 races and we had 4 DNFs, that is a quarter of the races, which is just simply, you know, unacceptable. So yeah, here we go then, jumping into Q1 and currently at the end of my first push lap in this session. Now we're going to see what we can do. The AI is on 100 for this qualifying and it's going to be on 102 for the race. Across the line we go, and we set a 130.7, which is pretty decent actually for a banker here compared to what I was doing in practice. Eventually though we had to go again. We're currently P16, or P14 sorry, but I think we might get pushed down to P16. I think there's literally less than a tenth covering us and also Matsushita. So we need to improve and try and get ourselves a little bit further away from the dropout zone. Now, you can see here, we was actually nearly 2 tenths up in the middle sector, but then I had a really scruffy sequence of corners, and I pretty much threw away the entire advantage that I made up. I'm going to keep my head cool though, we're going to keep pushing, and luckily for me, I managed to find a bit of time in these final 3-4 corners, and we're still going to improve by a small margin here, making our way through the penultimate corner. Now, the final corner here, making sure we don't run too wide, and we get good drive off the corner, across the line. And we improved by about half a tenth, move up to P13. The question is, will it be enough at the end of Q1? Yes, it is, as we finish in P16 and ahead of Matsushita. So in the end, we didn't need to improve, but it was necessary as a precaution to get through. A couple of penalties as well there for Lundgaard, and I think another Williams as well. Might be mistaken about that, I'm not quite sure. Either way, a few group ends being dished out for the race. Into Q2 though, for this first run, I actually went out on the tyres that we just used in Q1. So this is a used set of tyres, and we actually set a PB, a 130.5 on a used set of softs, which is really encouraging actually, and Track Evolution playing its part. So we know there's going to be more time in it as we move on to our final run, and probably one of my best qualifying laps of the entire season. So let's see, P14 right now. There's only about a tenth for us to find, and we can get into Q3. So that's kind of what we're aiming for, maybe a tenth and a half. So let's see how it goes. Of course, you have to take and factor in, you know, other cars improving as well. So down to turn 1, braking on the curb, down to 4th gear, short shifting to 5th, getting that drive out of there as we now go through turn 2 and turn 3. Usually flat out, but with these maxed out cars, you have to lift quite a bit because they're very unstable on the back end. Down towards the chicane, left-right combo for 4 and 5. Very important here to not run too wide on that left curb, and then into the hairpin. Crucial here that you get a nice late apex and really square off the corner and get a nice clean bit of traction to maximize your exit. Already a tenth and a half up as we make our way into the chicane. Spot the braking just after the 100-meter board here as a reference, down to 3rd gear and tried to sacrifice the left to open up the right and really get that drive in 4th gear, short shifting as we make our way onto the second backstroke with DRS wide open, and currently 2 tenths up as we make our way into this next section where we messed up a little bit in Q1, so we want to try to correct that mistake as we go purple in sector 2, over the bumps, just about getting it sorted out, the car not getting away from us this time, and we also nail that apex through the left-hander, so we actually find another 10th as we're 3 tenths to the good, making our way into the final part of the lap now. Tyres getting hot as we try to manage everything. Under the hotel we go, keeping it all nice and clean and tidy within track limits, and we're now 4 tenths up here, heading into the final 2 corners, just about the limit there without touching the sausage curb on the exit, and then the final corner, trying to clean up the traction out of there, and we improve by 4 tenths, purple in sector 3 as well, and we move up into the top 6, which is massive, absolutely mega, a huge lap right in the Q2, my best lap of the weekend by far, and we actually knock out Michael Schumacher, who finishes in P12, so a big improvement, and we had to improve. The previous lap was nowhere near good enough, and yeah, there you go, Q3 for us with a 1:30.200. So yeah, into Q3, I wasn't actually planning for it. I really thought I'd get knocked out in Q2, but somehow we've got ourselves in here. So another used set of tyres go on the car, and our first banker is going to be a 30.3, which is not bad at all to say it's a used set of tyres actually, as we have now 70% on the left rear. But there's one more lap to deliver in Season 5, and it's our final fresh set of soft tyres. So here we go. Out the final corner, down towards turn number 1. Rev out 7th gear and then make our way down to 4th. Again, short shift on the exit as we fight the car through turn 2, trying to carry as much speed as possible through 3 as well. As we're going to be about half a tenth up in the first sector. On the anchors into 4 and 5, really aggressive over the inside curbs. They're finding a load of time. And then to the hairpin, we managed to get the grip and the rotation, and also crucially the exit, as we're 2 tenths up here on this lap. So DRS wide open as Verstappen sets a 29.4, which could be a sign that there's quite a bit of track evolution here in Q3. On the anchors, about 90 meters down to 3rd gear, right nice and tight in the apex, opening up that right-hander, and we get some lovely clean traction as we open the DRS, and we're now 2.5 tenths up, making our way into sector 3. Spot the braking, bring the car over to the right, about 85 meters, 3rd gear, purple in sector 2 again as we bump the car over the curbs here, trying to find every bit of time that we can. We absolutely nail that section, and we're now 3 tenths up, heading into the triple right-hander, which feeds into the hotel section. Nicely done on the brakes there, absolutely spot on, no lock up, and then we managed to correct the car and keep it under control through this slow part of the track in sector 3. Look at this, 4.5 tenths up here, making our way into the final couple of corners now. We have a bit of a moment as the rear tyres start to let go, overheating, and then the final corner as well, but we improved by nearly half a second with a purple sector 2 and 3. It's a huge lap. We clutch up right at the end. What is it going to be? And it's going to be P5 for us in the race. So very happy with that one. One of my best qualifyings of the season, and the car upgrade's working well, but also me finding a good setup and clutching up right at the death and delivering a massive lap. So yeah, overall very happy with that one. And to be fair, if I'd found a 10th and a bit, we could have gone P2. So yeah, bit of a shame we couldn't quite achieve that. But anyway, that's the story of qualifying. Right after this, I went back to the main menu. I went ahead and done my usual thing where I changed the difficulty for the race and moved it up to 102. And then I thought I pressed the equivalent to the X button, you know, the A button to go to the race, but I actually pressed the sim button, and yeah.
Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick? And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Now, that wasn't ideal, I can't lie. That was a big mistake. I honestly didn't realise I'd done it. I just misclicked by accident, and I tried Alt F4 in my game straight away and reopening it, but it had already saved. So yeah, just unfortunate. I made a big mistake. Having said that, you know, Schumacher got a podium, which is pretty insane. Good to see. We've got both cars in the points in the last race, so that's a bit of a positive at least. But yeah, that is it for Season 5. A bit of a shame I had to end on this note, but I wanted to bring you guys a video today. I wanted to give you a finale for the New Year's Eve, but it hasn't really worked out that way, so I do apologise. But yeah, we're back for Season 6. I'm going to take a little bit of time away from my team. I'll make a video soon about this, but we're going to take a little bit of time off. I'm going to try and prepare Season 6 with some new mods, and it should be fun, and we'll see how much longer we can try and go with this series. But either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did. It was very short and sweet, but oh well, I do apologise. We're back for more soon. Subscribe for more daily F1 content, guys, if you're new to my channel. And as always, a massive thank you for the support throughout the entire season. I really, really appreciate it. It's been a really strong year for us, and I'm really, really thankful. So hopefully you'll have a great, new year. Happy New Year to every single one of you. As always, a massive, massive thank you to the channel members for supporting the content as always throughout the entire year. I really, really appreciate you. And finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. But that is it from me here today, and I'll see all of you next year.